Hello and good evening. I'm Mohana Priya. Welcome to News on 2. Ex-Prime Minister Datuk Seri Najib Tun Razak's wife, Datin Sri Rosmah Mansor, pleaded not guilty in the Kuala Lumpur Sessions Court today to 2 counts of receiving bribes totaling 1.5 million ringgit in the implementation of the project to supply and install solar energy at 369 rural schools in Sarawak 2 years ago. Datin Sri Rosmah, 66, made the plea after the charges were read out to her before Judge Azman Ahmad. For the first count, Datin Sri Rosmah was charged with dishonestly soliciting for herself, made through her former aide Datuk Rizal Mansor, 44, gratification to the amount of 187.5 million ringgit, or 15% of the value of the contract for the project from Jepak Holdings Sdn Bhd Managing Director Saidi Bang Samsudin. The money was an inducement to help Jepak Holdings to secure the hybrid photovoltaic solar system integrated project and maintenance and operation of Genset Diesel for 369 rural schools in Sarawak worth 1.25 billion ringgit through direct negotiation from the Education Ministry. As for the second count, Datin Sri Rosmah was charged with dishonestly receiving for herself 1.5 million ringgit from Saidi for the same purpose on 7th September 2017. Prosecution was conducted by Deputy Public Prosecutor Datuk Umar Saifuddin Jaafar, while the defence team was led by lawyer Datuk Geethan Ram Vincent. In the same Sessions Court, former Federal Territories Minister Datuk Sri Tengku Adnan Tengku Mansor pleaded not guilty to 2 counts of corruption and an alternative charge with accepting a bribe of 3 million ringgit in connection with land sale for construction of affordable homes in 2013 and 2016. He made the plea before Judge Azman Ahmad. For the first charge, Datuk Sri Tengku Adnan, 68, who is the Putrajaya Member of Parliament, was alleged to have dishonestly received for himself 1 million ringgit in gratification from businessman Tan Eng Boon through a public bank cheque belonging to Pekan Ninas Industries Sdn Bhd that was deposited into a CIMB bank account belonging to Datuk Sri Tengku Adnan. The gratification was for approving an application by Nucleus Properties Sdn Bhd, now known as Paragon City Development Sdn Bhd, to raise the plot ratio of the site with development at Lot 228, Jalan Semara, Kuala Lumpur. Datuk Sri Tengku Adnan was charged with committing the offence on 27th December 2013. A married couple, both lecturers at University Technical Malaysia Melaka, UTEM, were charged for alleged abuse of power at the ICRO Sessions Court today. Mohammad Zulfatah Zakaria, 36, and his wife, Norain Idris, 33, however, pleaded not guilty after the charges were read out to them separately before Judge Datuk Muhammad Nasir Nordin. The couple are alleged to be responsible for handling the purchase of laboratory items for research purposes worth 52,000 ringgit at the university between July 2015 and June 2016. Mohammad Zulfatah was charged with 3 counts of using his position for gratification to prepare 3 tenders for the purchase of laboratory items and research materials from a company belonging to his mother-in-law, HA Mega Supply. Norain, meanwhile, was charged with committing the same offence involving the purchase of equipment from the same company. Judge Datuk Muhammad Nasir set bail at 30,000 ringgit for Mohammad Zulfatah and 10,000 ringgit for Norain. He also set 18th December for case remention. Around 64,632 individuals aged between 18 to 44 have been declared bankrupt in the last 5 years for not being able to repay their loans, according to Deputy Prime Minister Datuk Sri Dr. Wan Azizah Wan Ismail, based on a report compiled by the Department of Insolvency. Up till September this year alone, around 13,338 individuals were declared bankrupt. Datuk Sri Dr. Wan Azizah also expressed concern that a high cost of living was the main reason why many working adults were unable to save. She also said government employees from the highest percentage of borrowers of personal loans.
The so-called solution sometimes just multiplies the problem by increasing the person's liabilities instead of reducing it. Without the right financial discipline, some borrowers will pay the installment on their personal financing while at the same time creating a new credit card balance from new spending. This is something that we should look into.
The Deputy Premier said this at the Debt Management and Counselling Agency AKPK Inaugural Financial Literacy Symposium 2018 in Petaling Jaya, Selangor. The event was attended by more than 300 participants from the public and private sectors. Now, the World Health Organization, WHO, expects nearly 9.6 million cancer-related deaths to be recorded this year. Health Minister Datuk Sri Dr. Zulkifli Ahmad said Malaysia has recorded a total of 13.6% of cancer cases in 2015, while 8.9% was documented in 1996. Datuk Sri Dr. Zulkifli said women are more at risk of developing cancer. He added that the government has allocated 20 million ringgit for at least 70,000 women to undergo health screening.
Already we are addressing this, and of course, as you say, as you may also want to know, it's not about the allocation but as well the fair and equitable distribution as well. So we want to make sure that we do it best and cut down on the inefficiencies. That's the most important thing in it.
Datuk Sri Dr. Zulkifli said 57.6% of cancer cases are sometimes traced once it's at the third and fourth level. He said this after officiating the Pantai Hospital Cancer Centre in Kuala Lumpur today. He urged women to conduct regular health checks to keep track of their health conditions and to detect any earlier symptom, especially cancer. Education Minister Dr. Mazli Malik said the re-implementation of the book voucher scheme for higher education institutions should not be politicized by any quarter. He said this is due to the fact that it involves the interests and welfare of higher education students in the country. According to Dr. Mazli, the re-implementation of the book voucher scheme will be continued in the interests of aiding higher education institutions in spite of criticism from several parties.
Pada saya yang penting kepentingan pelajar lah, kita tak mau politik kan. Apa pun bagi pihak kementerian kita meletakkan kebajikan pelajar lebih utama. Dan kalau boleh kita letakkan tepi politik lah, apa orang nak cakap-cakap lah. Yang penting kebajikan pelajar.
The Simpang Renggam Member of Parliament said the matter was brought forth during a cabinet meeting, was agreed upon and obtained support from Prime Minister Tun Dr. Mahathir Mohamad. And on another note, Dr. Mazli said the establishment of the Technical and Vocational Education and Training, or TVET, and Industry Commission is expected to ensure a more organized and efficient coordination of the program. He said the commission will also enable all TVET programs to be monitored and enhanced. Dr. Mazli said the proposal for the establishment of the commission will be tabled in Parliament in the near future. He added that the coordination of the TVET Commission will be handled by two main ministries, which are the Education Ministry and the Human Resources Ministry.
It was decided to table a motion in Parliament to get endorsement from the Parliament for the establishment of a TVET Commission, Suruhanjaya TVET. Then this with the hope to enhance the decision that made by the Cabinet. So it's to show our, not only to show, I mean, it's to to express our seriousness in enhancing TVET and bringing TVET to the next level.
Dr. Mazli said this after attending the National Industrial Dialogue 2018 on the best practices in building a TVET economic landscape held at the Putrajaya International Convention Centre in Putrajaya today. A National Anti-Drug Agency, or AADK, Special Tactical Response and Investigation Key Enforcers, or STRIKE team detained a husband and wife for literally abusing drugs in front of their child, among others, during an operation conducted in Kuala Selangor and Tanjung Karang. The operation comprised of Selangor and Kuala Lumpur AADK STRIKE personnel in the areas of Jeram, Bestari Jaya, Sungai Kajang and Tanjung Karang, which took place from Monday until early today. According to Kuala Selangor AADK Chief Khairul Nizam bin Abu Samah, the operation detained a woman along with 3 children aged between 4 and 7. A drug addict injured himself while attempting to escape capture through a house roof to the oil palm plantation behind the house upon realizing the presence of AADK personnel. The 4-day operation managed to cripple drug trafficking activities in the area of Kampung Sungai Kajang in Tanjung Karang when the main suspect was successful successfully detained while conducting business with an individual. Almost 36 grams of drugs worth 4,000 ringgit was seized and 18 people were detained, including 2 women. The case is being investigated under Section 39 subsection B of the Dangerous Drugs Act 1952 and under Section 39 subsection A of the same Act. Finance Minister Lim Guan Eng said companies who fail to register under the Sales and Service Tax or SST within the prescribed period will face legal action. He said the Malaysian Royal Customs will make no exceptions to any business owners regarding this matter. 92,682 business owners have registered under SST between September to 23rd October. Of the total, 57,298 have registered under the service tax, while the remainder have registered under the sales tax.
Peniaga yang gagal berdaftar di bawah SST melakukan kesalahan dan boleh didenda tidak melebihi RM30,000 atau pemiliknya boleh dipenjarakan selama tempoh tidak melebihi 2 tahun atau kedua-duanya.
As for traders who evade paying taxes, they will be compounded no more than 50% of the maximum fine amount if convicted. The provision is based on Section 95 of the Sales Tax Act 2018 and Section 80 of the Service Tax Act 2018. Communications and Multimedia Minister Gobind Singh Deo said the new board of directors of the National Film Development Corporation Malaysia, or FINAS, has been appointed and will be introduced to the public next week. He said the new lineup consists of, among others, people experienced in the finance and corporate restructuring.
A group of advisors who consists of people who are actually involved in the industry, who understand the problems of the industry, and who will be able to assist us to try and solve these problems. So what we're going to have is a board who will work with industry players. And of course, after the board appoints the advisors, they will also advise and appoint the new KP of FINAS.
The minister said this to reporters after the launch of the Malaysian Entrepreneurs Festival in Subang Jaya, Selangor. Gobind further noted that the group of advisors will also advise on the appointment of FINAS' new Director General. Deputy Minister in the Prime Minister's Department, Muhammad Hanifah Maidin, said a court order issued on 24th August does not allow the market price of luxury yacht Equanimity from being known during the bidding process. He added that the information on the controversial yacht has been classified as confidential and must not be divulged during the sale process. Replying to a question from Teh Kok Lim in the Dewan Raya today, Muhammad Hanifah said the sale value of the Equanimity cannot be disclosed in accordance with the court order.
Mahkamah Tinggi telah membuat perintah untuk Equanimity dijual melalui tender awam. Selaras dengan perintah mahkamah tersebut, seorang broker central agent daripada Monaco telah dilantik untuk menguruskan penjualan kapal tersebut. Seorang penilai juga telah dilantik untuk membuat penilaian kapal Equanimity.
Muhammad Hanifah said all the bids for its purchase are made directly to the court sheriff, who is authorized to accept the highest bid. The Admiralty Court on 26th October approved the terms and conditions for the bidding process from 29th October to 28th November. The 92-meter-long yacht is currently docked at the Royal Malaysian Navy Naval Region 3 Headquarters Jetty in Bukit Malut, Langkawi. Commenting on the same subject matter, Prime Minister Tun Dr. Mahathir Mohamad said that the luxury yacht Equanimity should not be anchored for a long time to avoid damages such as barnacles infestation. The Premier added that the yacht, which is currently docked in Langkawi, should be sailed at least once every few days.
Yeah, but I think the courts has decided the Equanimity belongs to Malaysia. We can put it anywhere, but of course our main intention is not to keep the ship. We don't need such a big ship. It's too luxurious for us. We want to sell.
Tun Dr. Mahathir said this after holding a two-way meeting with his Australian counterpart Scott Morrison in Singapore today. On 19th October, the High Court declared that the Equanimity belonged to the Malaysian government and 1MDB as its beneficiary owner when its registered owner failed to appear in court to claim the vessel, and the government could now sell the yacht. On 26th October, the Admiralty Court approved the terms and conditions for the bidding process for the vessel to commence from 29th October until 28th November. Indigo, a low-cost airline headquartered at Gurgaon, Haryana in India, has added Kuala Lumpur as its 12th international destination. Starting today, the low-cost carrier will be operating daily non-stop flights on Kuala Lumpur-Bengaluru and Kuala Lumpur-Delhi route. Transport Minister Anthony Loke Siu Fook said he is optimistic that the largest airline in India by passengers carried and fleet size will help contribute to the growth and expansion of KLIA2. His confidence stems from the fact that in October, KLIA2 had recorded an extraordinary increase in passenger volume of 6.9%.
And we will continue to provide good services and a good connection, good connectivity. And as well as I think our destinations are attractive enough for other airlines to come in, such as Indigo.
Loke was met after welcoming the arrival of the inaugural Indigo flight, carrying 180 passengers at KLIA2 early this morning. The 2018 ASEAN Summit continued today with the ASEAN-India Unofficial Breakfast Summit, which was chaired by Singapore Prime Minister Lee Hsien Loong. The summit was attended by Prime Minister Tun Dr. Mahathir Mohamad, Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi, and all other ASEAN leaders. Soon after the breakfast summit, US Vice President Mike Pence attended the 6th ASEAN-US Summit at 9:30 a.m. Pence, in his speech, admitted that ASEAN is very active in the region and hopes that the summit will help enhance the country's cooperation with all ASEAN countries. Tun Dr. Mahathir and other leaders later attended the 21st ASEAN Summit, which was held at 11 a.m. In a separate event, Tun Dr. Mahathir also held a bilateral meeting with Australian Prime Minister Scott Morrison. Meanwhile, in his address to the United States, Tun Dr. Mahathir said ASEAN waters should be free of warships, as it could cause incidents which will later lead to pressure.
Now, we all agreed on ways and means not to increase tension in South China Sea, and that means not bringing in warships, allow for freedom of navigation in South China Sea, and also flights over South China Sea should not be interfered with. And apart from that, of course, we understand the needs for security, and the needs for security would be resolved with simple petrol boats in.
The Premier said ASEAN welcomes any move by the United States of not sending any warships, especially its 7th Fleet, into the area. The 7th Fleet is a numbered fleet or a military formation of the United States Navy. And that concludes this evening's News on 2. In our top story today, bribery charges for Rosmah and Kunan. Join us again at 12:30 tomorrow afternoon. I'm Mona Priya. Thanks for watching.